like, is it even worth reviewing this, really? Like, everyone has already got one because it's like cheaper to have one of these than to lease a bike for a week at Centre Parks. That could actually be true, to be honest, couldn't it? And the people who don't already have one will probably never ever get one.
The one I like is that one. How does this work? And I want that same color. All right.
It's just like really weird, isn't it? Anyway. Well, despite that, I do think it's worth reviewing this car. Hence. Because I happen to think that this car is so good that it should transcend the ideological shit show that surrounds it. That's right, for the avoidance of doubt, I am a woke lefty. Yes, but one whose principles can apparently be overridden by a fart button. Let's face it, there isn't really anything left to learn about this car, right? Well, sort of. It's true that the Model 3 has been around for absolutely yonks now, and there are literally millions of them on the road. Apparently, every 90 seconds since 2017, a Tesla Model 3 has been sold. That's probably true, but I can't be bothered to do the maths and check. What we do know for certain is that it was the UK's second best-selling car in 2021, but it was usurped by the Model Y from 2022 onwards, mainly because the Model Y is basically the same car, but it's much more practical while not being much more expensive. There's a review of that on the channel too if you want to have a look. Link in description. And like, the Y is the sensible buy.
I'm a poet and didn't even know I was rhyming those words.
It is though, we know this, right? It's got much more cabin space, it's got a much bigger boot, it's a hatchback, which means the thing is generally much more flexible. But honestly, I think I prefer this one. In fact, I know I do. Mainly because it just feels much better to drive. It's more together. So again, to get to the reason that we're here today, well, they've just updated it. I say just, it was 2 years ago. Look, someone said, do you want to drive one of these? And I said yes, and I haven't uploaded anything for like a month. Like and subscribe! Right, so in late 2023, big changes for the 3, starting with the looks, obviously. The lights got changed a bit. That always happens. But less obviously, Tesla also gave it a price cut. A $3,000 price cut. That like never happens. Despite that, being cheaper, that is, it became a quantifiably better car. Yeah, so they did stuff like giving it double glazing to improve refinement, and using higher quality stuff for the dashboard, and adding a few more stereo speakers so it sounded better, and giving the rear passengers a way of watching Friends. And they changed some of the suspension parts, and they did a few things to get more miles from the battery, like making the car more aerodynamic, and changing the tyre compound, and tweaking the battery software. But they've also removed the indicator stalk and put that function here, which would be a really easy thing to moan about. I'm not gonna, because once you've done this 4 or 5 million times, honestly it happens all the time, it's fine, you get used to it. Although, despite saying I wasn't gonna moan, I am gonna moan now, because when you come to a junction and like you turn the wheel before you indicate, which it turns out you do quite a lot, well I do anyway. So you get to the junction, you turn a bit, and then you're like, oh, I need to indicate to say that I'm going that way. Your indicators are all of a sudden on the other side of the wheel and upside down. And that kind of sucks. Something that normally just comes very natural to you, that is second nature, you have to think about. And you know, I find thinking difficult. I don't need to do any more of it than is absolutely necessary. Yeah, it's actually stupid when you think about it. But then, you know, look at this charging port, right? That's crap as well. And it didn't stop me from buying a big computer off Steve Jobs. So let's move on.
Some mistakes will be made along the way.
Anyway, they called all the changes the Highland update. We're told it's called that because it took the car to a new plateau. Or some shit like that. I reckon, actually, they've just done it in plain homage to the greatest culture in the world.
Why does somebody not know how to flush a toilet after they've had a shit?
That's not me.
Well, I was fucking one of yous.
Well, the second greatest culture in the world. This Ant and Deck there. PJ and Duncan. That was all so I could finally shoehorn that clip into a car review. Doing great.
Disgusting!
Really though, all the changes together are transformative. When I first drove one of these, all the way back in 2019, the main thing that I took away apart from some of the actual door trim, was just how generally ropey the driving experience felt. Like they'd shoehorned a nuclear reactor into a Red Bull soapbox.
The rocket powering down the slopes at Alexandra Palace, over the kick going, oh, he nosedives!
But I actually like that about it. Like the first Model 3 was this really weird, unusual, automotive oxymoron of like really cutting edge technology. It's got the big screen and all that, and it's really fast, but then really old school, wobbly driving dynamics, like a crappy old taxi or something. It was mental. And all of that together gave it character. Character and a shit, unfinished interior. Actually, you know what? I'll show you what I thought. Let's go back to 2019. Let's do the Wayne's World transition.
But put that aside, and in parts this car almost feels last generation. Good and bad. So the visibility is just brilliant, right? The front screen feels massive and it's got these really thin pillars, and like I said before, it's dead airy. The bonnet feels short and low. It's actually quite reminiscent of looking out of a Porsche. So the bonnet feels dead short and it dips at the front, and then it's got these two bulbous sections at either side where the lights are. And it's just really cool and not what you would expect. Very, very few cars, right? Even the tall crossover type ones that everybody seems to be buying now have this sort of pure visibility where you really feel like you can see properly all around you. And the driving experience itself is also quite retro, a bit rough and ready. It has the feel of a suspension setup that is battling with the weight of the car plus massive battery pack. So it's set up on the softer side, and that's really obvious. And what it means is it is brilliant over speed humps and over potholes. It really smooths them out, you know, you never get that like harsh jolt. But it also means that it never quite settles down. It always feels like it's bouncing about a bit, you know. And it's especially uncouth on the motorway. Now, it's never terrible by any means, but it's there that it feels most underdeveloped, right? It's just kind of turbulent, you know. It has body control like a evangelical Christian. What I'm saying is that generally, but especially in that circumstance on the motorway, it doesn't feel like 40 to 50 grand's worth of car. Sort of experience that, while not bad, it wouldn't get signed off at Audi, say. But now it's a lot more mature and it feels a lot less squishy. A lot like my face, apparently. I honestly think that in day-to-day terms, this is one of the most fun to drive cars you can get. People like speed, don't they? And they like a sense of control. You know, you talk about accelerator response. It's amazing, this thing. The brakes aren't brilliant. Like, it locked up there. That wasn't great, was it? But like, it's sharp. It turns in really quickly. You really feel connected to the whole thing. Body control's good. I know that it doesn't have much handling nuance, but for most people day to day, and especially if they drive on roads like this a lot, like for the average driver, this just feels proper good. A bit odd that it feels that way because the springs are actually softer. So they've obviously done a lot of work with the suspension parts to make it just feel a bit more sophisticated. It's comfy and supple, but without feeling like the body's all over the shop. Honestly, the driving experience generally feels like it's been polished to within an inch of an Audi, and the build quality is in a different stratosphere to the old Model 3, that is, not to an Audi. It's still nowhere near as good as an Audi. It's almost as though, collectively, Tesla went, here's an idea. Why don't we get some people who've actually developed a car before to come and work for us and finish developing ours? I don't know why I keep doing thumbs up. I'm out of practice, it's been a while. Thing is, it still basically feels like the same car. It still has the same sort of charm, it's just got much better with age. Like Carol Vorderman or Desmond Lynam. It's still really airy, I really like that. It's got loads of glass, and for a modern car, thin pillars. And it still has a really good seating position, they haven't changed that. It's kind of low and almost sports car-ish. Yet, because of the airiness and all the glass and the fact that the dashboard is really low, the visibility in this thing is proper mint. It has better visibility than the majority of SUVs, I would argue, and it proves that you do not have to be sat in the clouds to have a good view of the road ahead, no matter what big SUV might tell you. Big SUV, man, it's all a big deep state conspiracy, man.
Deep state.
And it still, of course, has blinding speed. Now, this is like a basic one, but watch this. I don't know whether the sense of speed has come across there, but to me, in my little tummy, it did. It's fast. Yes, even the slowest one cracks 62 in less than 6 seconds, and the performance one is as quick as one of these. Mad that, innit? And it's easy to live with because every one of them has brilliant battery range, they all charge up dead quickly, and the supercharger network is the best charging infrastructure in the UK. Fact. Well, I think it is anyways. So it is customary in any Tesla review to start moaning about the screen, but I am not gonna, because I like it. I think it works really well. It's dead easy to figure out. There is so much of it that all of the functions are kind of there in front of you, and I just love the fact that it kind of has quirks without being unintuitive. I do have a couple of complaints though, so I am going to moan about it. First one, obstacle detection. I love that feature. I love the fact that it shows you things that are around you in your peripheral vision. And I love the fact that it detects wheelie bins really well. But dogs, not so much. So here is a philosophical quandary for you that you can spend the next few days pondering on. What is more likely to jump out in front of your car? A dog or a wheelie bin? In fairness, the system does detect animals as obstacles if you're going to hit one, but when you're in a traffic queue in this car and it's showing you like people walking past the car, there's like really nice little animations, I also want to see someone's little dog on a lead. They can do it with a wheelie bin, they can do it with a dog, right? Other than that though, screen, all good, in my opinion. I don't even mind that you have to open the glove box with it. I know people whinge about that all the time, but really, when do you ever have to do an emergency glove box open at 70 miles per hour? When are you so desperate to retrieve a glove that you must be able to do that instantly at speed? And watch how easy it is to get the glove box open. Car, glove, no, that's the child lock. Smart arse. Try again. Car, glove box. There you go, it's open. It's not a very good glove box, like, it's thin as flip. I will moan about the Model 3's rear hole though, because it's big by volume, but the opening is flatter than an amateur souffle. And that is the main reason why most people buy a Model Y now instead. Well, that and like rear headroom and stuff. And the fact that it looks like an SUV. And everybody likes SUVs now, don't they? But back to the Model 3, what's weird about the backside is that it doesn't even look like a saloon. Like back in the day, a 3-box saloon was meant to be like a prestigious thing. Prestigious because, oh look, my luggage compartment is separate from the important people in the car.
Pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon?
3-box, engine, passenger compartment, luggage, right? This looks like a hatchback. It's like a 2-box car, really. So why didn't they just make it a hatchback? Surprisingly spacious in the back though, this thing. Lots of legroom, lots of headroom. See, I'm not sure about this white leather interior though. It's a bit live, laugh, love, innit? A bit...
I'm there, beef that final boss.
In fact, I think they call this particular shade...
Jack here.
I do actually really like it though. Shocker. Geordie neck tattoos. So yeah, proper cheap to lease and to run and everything. Proper good to drive. Dead easy to live with. But... I've been driving one of these for about 6 months now, and as much as I really like it, the infotainment absolutely sucks and the Volvo-ish interior is feeling older by the week. Yeah, China's answer to the Model 3. It's spacious and it's high quality and it's reasonably priced and the touchscreen spins around. It's just a shame that the software inside the spinny touchscreen is rubbish. This is much more comfy than the Model 3 and it's really rare because not many people have taken to its weird streamliner looks. Yeah, it's brilliant, this thing. Outstanding quality, the most impressive infotainment in the game, and it will basically feel like the 320D that you've had for the last 5 years that you're being forced to leave behind by the government or your company or just society. Yeah, this is a big, comfy electric cruising thing that's got a massive battery and you can have it as an estate. There's plenty going for it then, apart from, you know, being very interesting. I would have one of these though, to be honest, which is probably why my walkometer is malfunctioning right now. Where's my bucket of red paint? Anyways, there you go. Bye! And don't worry, the next video will be of a car that is much more new and cutting edge and stuff. Don't forget to unsubscribe. Bye! You're doing great. It's a bit live, laugh, love, innit? It's a bit crushed velvet corner sofa on 5-year finance. It's a bit, I love matcha me now, like. It's a bit TikTok shop. It's a bit, you tried to buy chocolate, mate. It's pretty lush. It's a bit, well, I wouldn't go out and paint a mini roundabout myself, but...
Disgusting!